Welcome to the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast. I'm your host, Krista Escamilla. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Permian Strategic Partnership Podcast. We are so glad that you're with us today to listen and learn about some of the amazing people and projects that the PSP is doing. Speaking of amazing people, with us we have today Catherine Rathbone, and she is the Director of Healthcare for the Permian Strategic Partnership. Catherine, thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to hear your story. I know that you've been with PSP since 2025. So the newest member to the amazing team, we were just talking about it off camera, that you have. But first of all, tell us a little bit about how you got into this role, a little bit of your background, and then we'll get into some of the great projects you're working on.
Yeah, well, first off, it's a pleasure to be on your podcast and to represent PSP in specifically with regards to healthcare. My background is actually in healthcare, in the clinical setting. I studied nursing and became a registered nurse over a decade ago now. And I cut my teeth in an emergency department, not dissimilar to the size of Midland Memorial, in an even smaller town. I was raised by a small town physician, so I understand some of the challenges that can bring. My career, though, was not as linear as I anticipated. When I was studying nursing, I thought it would be very step-by-step, and I had a certain direction, but it's taken a lot of twists and turns. I found myself in different roles in all kinds of different settings in healthcare. Landed out here in the Permian in Midland several years ago. Was working as a nurse and found out that PSP was very interested in having someone with a healthcare background. And at the time, I was also looking to kind of expand the impact I was having with my career and use all the lessons learned from those various jobs I've had. And it became the perfect mesh. So really excited to use the skills that I learned in my nursing career in a different way now.
Great. I'm so glad that your trajectory landed you here in this role, because it is such an important role. We have seen PSP really evolve over the past 6-7 years in what they're doing, and we are starting to see the fruits of a lot of those healthcare efforts. Tell us what you're excited about and what you're working on for the future so we can know exactly what to expect with you in this initiative of healthcare.
Sure. Well, how much time do you have?
As long as you want. That's the great thing.
I can easily go on and on. It's very exciting work. I tell so many people often that, yes, this is my job, but it never feels like work. Mm-hmm. It's truly an honor, and it's always very interesting because of the groundwork that has been laid prior to me joining PSP and that we're laying now for the future. There's so much exciting stuff going on. I mean, if you drive on 191, you see that Permian Basin Behavioral Health Center being built, and it's supposed to be opening this spring, which is just going to impact our community in a way I cannot even describe. To have those mental health services out here for the Permian Basin is going to be incredible. I'm very excited that we have some work in pediatrics.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What's down the pipeline, pun intended, pipeline for pediatrics?
I love an oil and gas pun.
I do too. They're very punny.
So PSP is honored to partner with our friends at Scarborough Foundation and Texas Tech to launch the first Permian Basin campus pediatric residency.
Wow.
So there will be physicians being trained to be general pediatricians right here in the Permian.
That is such an asset to our community. And for those of you that maybe are listening outside of West Texas, maybe we can backtrack and explain why that is so necessary. Because in other towns, you'd be like, oh, there's pediatricians. Oh, we have an overflow of pediatricians to choose from. We are 5 hours from every major city. And so we do not have the overabundance that maybe, say, a Houston would have or a Dallas would have, correct?
That's right. That's right. And we have many wonderful pediatric providers, but the fact of the matter is a lot of them are getting ready to retire. And if you look at the data, we basically have a deficit of not only general pediatricians, but every pediatric subspecialty. And so this is going to take a bite out of that apple by producing more pediatricians. And the program, in order to train those general pediatricians, will recruit subspecialists. Wow. So we're very excited that we'll have more pediatric subspecialty available. I myself, I have a daughter who sees a specialist in Dallas, so I feel the burn of having to drive her to her doctor and wishing that we could stay closer to home.
And now you won't have to do that drive as soon as
That's
we
right.
get these doctors here. That's fantastic. And now that you say that, that is so true. I do hear of the retirements. We've had our same pediatrician for 26 years. And so I'm sure she's going to retire soon at some point.
Yeah, she deserves it.
She deserves it. And so now that you say that, you're right. I do feel like there's so many that will be retiring soon. And so we need to fill the void that will be left by their much deserved retirement. I'm so glad that you're addressing pediatrics. I know that rural hospitals and rural healthcare is something else that PSP has near and dear to their heart, because when you are in West Texas, we are not just Midland, Odessa. A lot of people, may think, if they're watching Landman, that it's just Midland, Odessa.
That's right.
But we really have a much broader community that we reach to. What does the rural healthcare look like, and what are you focusing on there?
Yeah, so much of what we're doing is focused on not just Midland, Odessa, but we consider 22 counties to be our focus area counties, 3 in southeast New Mexico and 19 here in Texas. I'm really excited about this, again, along the lines of pediatrics. We partnered with the New Mexico School for the Deaf and some other funding partners in New Mexico to help launch some teleaudiology clinics. So one in Artesia and one in Hobbs. Up until now, babies would have their hearing screening when they're born. If they found that something was not as it ought to be, they would need follow-up, and they would be put on a wait list. That was very significant, and it caused families to have to travel long distances with their precious little newborn to get that follow-up. And now, because of the New Mexico School for the Deaf putting up these teleaudiology clinics, those babies can be seen close to home in Artesia or Hobbs, and PSP is really excited about that partnership.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Those of you that are in West Texas know collaboration is key for PSP and for so many of us, whether you're in education, if you're in healthcare, if you're in just quality of life. It seems like collaboration is key here. What other collaborations are you looking for in healthcare, or are you working on that maybe some people that are listening might go, oh, hey, I can help there, or oh, this is what I can bring to the table. So collabs in general.
Yeah, so collaboration is the name of the game. We're much better together than we are by ourselves. PSP really, I mean, I don't know how much we do on our own. It takes all groups to come together and make some of these amazing, huge projects happen. I always want to tell the community, if you have an idea, I want to hear it. If you have a thought or you see a need, please email me, Catherine@PermianPartnership.org. I'd be happy to meet with you and hear what you think would be impactful out here in the Permian. But we have so many partners. I mean, from the education systems, higher ed, or even K through 12, we are looking to build a pipeline of healthcare workforce, and that involves so many players.
I love that you're in this role. You are in that key demographic of Midlanders right now, right? We hear it. It's the average age, or it's the average or the median age. I always get confused on those two. But one of is 30 to 33,
That's right.
with the largest group, which is where your daughter falls, 0 to 4.
That's right.
And so I love that PSP is focusing on that, and that you are able to facilitate that because you know those needs. Because you are that age.
That's right.
What would be on your wish list? What would you like to see us achieve in healthcare? Maybe long term as you look down as your own child, grows up here.
That's a great question.
Thanks.
And I have quite a long wish list, and so I'm in the right position at
Yes.
work to hopefully achieve some of those dreams. As we've continued to talk about just staying close to home. I mean, pediatrics and labor and delivery or OB-GYN services, those are personally really important to me, and to see those be the best that they can be. The people out here in the Permian work so hard. It's a special place, and they deserve as good a health care as you can get in any urban center. And so if you were to ask me, can I wave my wand?
Yes. I'm giving you the magic wand, Catherine. Tell me what you're going to do with it.
We have so much opportunity at the Beacon to see so many various healthcare services delivered out there, and that's a central location for so many. So if I could wave my wand, I would see a women and children's center out there.
Oh, I love that. That would be fantastic. Yeah. So I hope that someone gives you that magic wand and we can be talking about this 10 years from now and say, hey, it was waived and it's coming true, because there is so much more that can be done, right? And the Behavioral Health Center, you mentioned that which is located at the Beacon, correct? Is
That's
that
right.
That location of 191? You all drive by it when you drop your loved ones off or pick them up from the airport. You can see that it's that growth behind Wagner Noel. That really is going to be an epicenter for what we're talking about with collaborations and education and healthcare. The Behavioral Health Center itself, you said it will be opening in
The spring.
So spring of 2026.
That's right.
That is exciting because
there.
we have been talking about this for a few years now. And so I am so excited when it does open. Maybe explain what people can expect, because again, if you're not in West Texas, you might not know why it was so needed.
Right. So we're, no pun intended again, a desert, particularly in mental health care. We have many great mental health care providers, but we were severely lacking in several aspects of that service, including inpatient care. So that's one thing that will be offered. There will also be a partnership with the state and the city to have some beds for folks who are involved in law enforcement and need some competency restoration. That's one type of service that will be provided. There will also be services for adolescents, kids under 18. So it's really going to be quite of a well-rounded facility. I am just beside myself. As an ER nurse, I've seen when you're in the ER and you have a patient come in with mental health needs, you desperately want to help them, and you just don't always have the resources. And that patient often has to stay much longer than they should because of just a lack of places to go. And now with the Behavioral Health Center, hopefully we can relieve some of that pressure from our emergency departments.
I'm really glad you said that, because a lot of people, again, may not realize that if you say you did need to get in to see a therapist or a counselor, there was a wait list that was a mile long in the past. This is going to help get people in, but then even further than that, the in-treatment center, which I think is just fantastic. Well, that is exciting news. I know you're happy about that. Cannot wait. Let's talk about the future and what the next thing is that PSP in general is working on. I know you're focused on healthcare,
Sure.
but are there any other initiatives that you're like, 2026, we just had our New Year's meeting and we're ready to go? Anything else you want to say, hey, this is what we're really excited about?
Well, we do have that meeting every year.
And I knew it.
The list
is an amazing group of women. I knew with an amazing group like you together in a room, I knew there would be a big meeting like that.
I do wish you could see the team at work. We're small but mighty, and the planning that goes into executing some of these strategic investments is really impressive. And as the newest eyes in these meetings, I often get to step back and say, wow, what a privilege to see how behind the curtain of these incredible investments. My colleagues, Melissa and Deborah, I've learned a lot from. They've been essential, and those projects in education and road safety that are coming down the pipeline are very exciting. So stay tuned. I know they're going to be on your podcast.
Oh, good.
Too this year. They're going to get the assignment as well.
Good, fantastic. You were the first one out. Tracy was like, "Hey, let's get them out there." I love that, right. And we're glad you're here. This is her first podcast, by the way, in general, not just any podcast, but her very first. So we're so grateful that you're here today, and you're doing such a great job and such a amazing team, as we mentioned earlier. What do you want people to know about healthcare in general that maybe you think is a myth that you would like to debunk today, because it is so near and dear to your heart? And I think most people they don't know how important healthcare is until they need it. And so, what would you like to say about healthcare in general?
That is true. It's often in your worst day when you realize what your needs are when it comes to healthcare and what the needs are for the services, the infrastructure that you're getting your services from. I would say a myth is that this is not a beast that we can overcome. Often good. It's easy in being, on the clinical side to get a little cynical, like this is too difficult, this is too hard. And then you add on top being rural, being in the Permian, and you see all the challenges, and it can be easy to say, well, like throw your hands up. But I'm here to say, look what's been done in a short amount of time through working together, through public-private partnerships. When I joined PSP, I did have an idea of some of the things that PSP had done, but now I see, wow, we really can make a difference in healthcare, and not even a small one, a very large one.
Yes, and that you are doing. That is exciting.
Thank you.
I want to kind of close out with some of your thoughts. Is there anything that we haven't talked about today that you think is really important to the initiatives that PSP is doing, or maybe even say again how they can respond to you? Because I think that is key. Like right now, if someone's listening and they go, oh, I do have this idea that I would love to share with Catherine. Or, oh, I have this idea on road safety, and can we get that to Deborah? Or, I think it's so important for them to know that you are open to collabs, because that's how we do our work here.
That's totally true. The way that initiatives are formed at PSP is different every time. Sometimes it's an idea we have internally. Sometimes it comes from a board member or a committee member from one of our member companies, and sometimes it's someone out in the community, whether that is someone providing that healthcare service that approaches us. Sometimes it's just a community member, a side conversation at the coffee shop. This is not a large city, so often I'm having work conversations out and about in the world, and I love it because I don't know everything, and that's why PSP and what we do is so amazing, because we bring together everyone's skill set, everyone's resources, and where I lack, my teammate may have that in the strength. And so what I would tell someone listening is, please, reach out, and if it isn't something that PSP necessarily can do, we may know someone who wants to. And we would love to connect you with someone who we do think can help if it isn't us, but we do want to hear from the community.
I think that's fantastic. And I know that is how great ideas happen, is in coffee shops too. So if you see Catherine in a coffee shop,
please come up to me and say hi.
That's right. And since we're getting to know you better, I just want to know a fun fact about you, Catherine, that people will remember you by. So what's a fun fact about you?
This question always gets me, because I don't think I'm that fun. Oh man. It's maybe not that fun, but I am the sister of 2 Marines.
Oh, very cool.
And so that might not sound very fun. It might sound very serious, but it's something I'm very proud of, and it influences how I work. It influences how I see the world and how I see service to others. And so I just, as my first podcast, that I would shout out my 2 Marine Corps brothers.
I love that, and thank you for their service. Please thank them. Pass that on to them, because I always appreciate anyone who serves our country, and firsthand what they go through. Since
I'm grateful they did it, so I don't have to, and I can enjoy going to work at PSP freely.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing that fun fact, and now I will always remember that about you. And we are so grateful that you are here in West Texas and sharing your gifts, and we wish you much continued success in this role, because healthcare is so important to our community. We deserve it. We deserve good healthcare, and I'm grateful that PSP is helping to provide that, and all of you and your team. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Krista.
Let's give out the website so people can reach Permian Strategic Partnership.
Sure, permianpartnership.org.
It's that easy. So go on there. You can find out all about it. You can also find out more about the 29 amazing members that have come together for PSP. Without them, none of this would be possible. When you see some of the collaborations in action, and maybe you meet someone that is one of the members, thank them. Tell them thank you. You see someone from Diamondback, and you say, well, I appreciate that partnership that you did with PSP. The list goes on. You have such an amazing membership with oil and gas and education, which, Tracy and I talked about on the last podcast. It couldn't be done without them, and it's amazing how many people, competitors, got together for the good of our community. So
it is amazing.
It really is.
You should sit in that boardroom and step back. It's amazing to see.
Invite me in. I'd love to. We can even bring the cameras
together,
or not.
Watch the meeting of the minds and see what problems can be solved all together. It's really a privilege.
It is. Well, thank you so much, Catherine. We appreciate you being here today, and we appreciate you listening today to our podcast. If you have any ideas, you want to share them, you can email Catherine. You can also go online and also share this podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share it with someone that is maybe new to the Permian or is moving to the Permian. Or, hey, if you know anyone in healthcare that wants to move to the Permian, right?
Email me.
That's right. Email her. There's plenty of job opportunities out here, and we hope to see you all here. Remember, the future lies in the Permian, and we are all in this together. We look forward to seeing you soon. You make it a great day.